of this track, and they're off and running in the first, and a little bit tardy in the centre there was Laugh in the Rain. Away quickly off the inside was Amber Moon. Followed by wide out on the track was Mendel Bell, and booting up in the centre, Speed of Sound. So Speed of Sound, he's living up to his name, and he's leading out by a couple of lengths as they settled into stride. Amber Moon over on the inside, and then came Fly with the Wind in the identical colours to Speed of Sound. Out a bit deep as Mendel Bell, but travels well. Back near the tail of the field is Laugh in the Rain, and Wireframe is the tail ender as they run down the side, and up front and travelling well. Speed of Sound, a length and a half in advance. Mendel Bell's worked his way up to second. Third back on the inside. Laugh in the Rain has made some steady ground, followed by Amber Moon, and then came Wireframe, and going very poorly Fly with the Wind as they run on towards the home turn. He still travels well, does Speed of Sound under Jockey E.A. Abrea around the bend for home. Speed of Sound over on the outside, Mendel Bell, and back on the inside, Laugh in the Rain as they run towards the 250. Still in front, it is Speed of Sound on the inside. Coming at Speed of Sound is Laugh in the Rain, but in front, wide out on the track, getting to the front now, it's Mendel Bell, and Mendel Bell takes the prize from Speed of Sound, Laugh in the Rain, Amber Moon, followed then by Wireframe at the tail of off and running, and a bit of a tardy getaway. Levitating was slow into stride, and likewise Douglas Fir. Coming out in front though, Malibu Bill flew the gates, and Lee's settling down from Private Dining. Bidding up on the inside, Seashells gets the box seat run, followed then by, on the outside of them was Dazzling Gab. Then came Levitating, Queen Margot, and back at the tail of the field is Douglas Fir. He's probably about 8 to 10 lengths off this leader. Travelling well, Malibu Bill, as they run towards the 800-metre corner. Malibu Bill away by 3 and 4 lengths. Seashell working up into second spot, a bit deep on the outside, but going forward is Private Dining. And then came back on the inside, Dazzling Gab. Levitating is getting a wriggle on and starting to circle the field. Levitating, followed then by Douglas Fir as they run towards the home turn. On the inside, Malibu Bill joined by Seashells. Levitating with that long sustained run coming down the outside. In front, Seashells, 250 to go. Malibu Bill's all sold out, followed by Levitating, who's running on fairly well. Seashells, he's got a kick, 150 out. Levitating trying to gun him down. Seashells in front, Levitating trying hard. Seashells, I think he's just fallen in from Levitating. And third over the wire then was Private as well. Off and running though, after all last, very slow into stride, was Fast Sailing. He's missed it by 3 and 4 lengths. Sunny Nature came out running. He doesn't look keen to lead. Booting up on the in the centre is Raffers Point, and also prominent then is flying forward is She's Royal as they settled into stride. Line of 3, She's Royal the centre. Sunny Nature out 3 and 4 deep, and taking a sit behind them then was Raffy's Point. Then came Macarit with a nice run, fourth the rail. Two back then to Sunshine Jern. Then came Fast Sailing, and back at the tail of the field is G City, about 7 and 8 lengths off them. Sunny Nature travels well, about 3 parts in advance. She's Royal the inside, and then back in third spot being hustled up Macarit, followed then by Raffy's Point. Getting a wriggle on around the outside now, Fast Sailing, and G City starting to tack on. Back near the tail of the field is Sunshine Jern. Around the bend for home, Sunny Nature away from the rail. There's room on the inside for She's Royale, but he's got a kick at the 250. Sunny Nature, he put 2 lengths on them really quickly here, and he's away with a good margin. She's Royal is running around all over the place, running on fairly well. Fast Sailing, and then Macarit, but down to the wire, it's going to be Sunny Nature, a big win, 2.5 to She's Royal. Third is Fast Sailing, and then came Macarit. Off and running after all that, and away quickly was Monument. Monument to take up the lead, but taken on and headed quickly by Jamabil. On the inside, Star of the Future. Monument back to third, followed then by Marquis Angel, and Charm Boys at the tail of the field. 1,000 metres out, Jamabil kicked away. 2.5 in advance, Star of Future. In third, Monument, and Charm Boy starting to roll forward from the tail of the field, and that relegates Marquis Angel back to last as they run towards the 800 metres and start that sweeping turn. Jamabil, 1.5 lengths. Charm Boy working closer, followed then by Star of the Future, and then came pushed along Monument, followed by back at the tail of the field Marquis Angel. On towards the home turn, Jamabil still travelling well, but breathing down his neck is on the outside Charm Boy. Jamabil in the centre. Charm Boy going after Jamabil and running on just fairly well, then Monument at the 250. Jamabil still running strongly. Jamabil 2.5 in advance of Charm Boy, who's trying hard, but Jamabil down to the wire beats Charm Boy. Third, Monument, then came Star of the Future and Marquis. Gates fly back there racing. A bit slow on a stride was Fuego. Coming out very quickly was Money for Shelltex. But Boy Wonder striding up on the inside under a nice hold of by Paddy Dilemma is going to lead on, settling down from Grand Monarch. Back to third, Money for Shelltox has got the run of the race and the drop on them. And then came Jean Genie. And back at the tail of the field is Fuego, about 7 lengths off them. Not going any great speed as they run towards that top turn. Around about 8.50 to travel. And Boy Wonder being joined now by Grand Monarch, about 3 or 4 lengths back then to Money for Shelltex. Then came Jean Genie getting a bit closer, and a gap back to Fuego down the side as they run towards the home turn. They've got 650 metres to travel, and taking the lead away now, Grand Monarch on the outside. Under pressure, Boy Wonder getting a little bit closer, Jean Genie, but very hard ridden. And then came Money for Shelltox. Forget about Fuego in the straight. They run to the 250 on the inside. Boy Wonder on the outside is Grand Monarch. They've got it between them. Grand Monarch has a slender lead, starting to edge away. Grand Monarch clear from Boy Wonder. Running on fairly well late is Money for Shelltex, but it is Grand Monarch from Money for Shelltex. Boy Wonder, I think, has run third. Started to release them. They're off and running. They broken a perfect line, and away quickly off the inside was Over Zooming. Getting out very quickly was Giselle's Touch, and in the box seat in third now is Maybell under JB Hernandez, followed then by 2 or 3 back then to Black Star, and back near the tail of the field we've got Captain Bob as they run towards the 900 metres. Under a hold it's Over Zooming. Over Zooming a neck in advance. In second spot is Giselle's Touch with the run of the race in third, Maybell, and looks to be travelling sweetly. About 4 back then, Black Star. On the outside of Black Star was Captain Bob as they run towards the home turn, and it's Over Zooming. Over Zooming pressured by Giselle's Touch. Under the pump now, Maybell, and getting a bit closer, Captain Bob right around the outside, followed then by Giselle's Touch, rather Black Star in the straight. Over Zooming the inside. He's trying to lead all of the way. Giselle's Touch now took a narrow lead. Running on just fairly well, Captain Bob down the outside. Giselle's Touch from Over Zooming. Captain Bob is closing late. In front is Giselle's Touch. Captain Bob the outside is lunging late. Captain Bob gets up and beats Giselle's Touch. Third is going to be Maybell, I feel. well for Mark Alvarez. They're off and running. He was slow into stride, was Cyril Ladden. Not so on the inside was Upscale Bill, who came out very quickly and leads on settling down from Spellbound, who works up to second. Then in third, we've got Golden Charger. A length and a half back then, Instant Message, followed by Gugma. After an ordinary getaway, Cyril Ladden is the tail ender, and he's about 8 lengths off them. Leader travels well here as they run towards the 900 metres. Upscale Bill and John Alvin Goosey a length in advance. In the second spot, Spellbound. Third is Golden Charger, and then Instant Message being pumped up, followed then by Gugma at the tail of the field, but just starting to tack on now is Cyril Ladden, 6 lengths top to bottom, and the leader still travelling well as they run towards the home turn. Upscale Bill, 3 parts in advance. Spellbound is getting closer on the outside, followed by Golden Charger. Then came Gugma, and right down the outside, Cyril Ladden at the 250, still travelling well here on Upscale Bill, a length in advance. Spellbound trying to get on terms with him, but this is going to win in a hand canter. Upscale Bill racing away, and this is 3 for the night for Bill Racing. Upscale Bill has beaten Spellbound, Cyril Ladden, and then came...